What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the left hand. Now today we got school rules made absolutely no sense by Words Dave. A comment below one school rule that you know that just was literally stupid and you have no idea why it exists.
Welcome to school, the place where you sit at a desk questioning your entire existence and why you're even there.
Facts.
However, in the confusion, you do run into a lot of cool people, weird people, make new experiences, and most of all, figure out what it means to be a half-decent human being. Part of figuring out what makes a decent person, though, is through your teachers. Growing up,
okay, my teacher got down like that, my nigga. Yo,
part of
hold
figuring out
on.
what makes a decent person, though, is through your teachers.
There's no reason for you to be tuning it over like that. I don't care how low you gotta go on the board, my nigga.
Growing up, teachers practically play one of the most, if not the most important roles in a child's life.
That is facts,
you don't even realize it, but niggas are spending most of their development years with their teachers. They're damn near co-parenting you at this point. Then
that is facts, bro, because if you think about it, these kids be going to school for what, like 6 hours or so a day? Like, they're basically their other parent. That's why I have respect for teachers, though, because they have to handle multiple kids on a daily basis, bro, and they just willingly do it.
A little older, and you're not in school anymore. When you finally realize half of the beliefs they were instilling in your brain and putting you through made absolutely no sense at all. Like, I remember being hella young. Like fucking first, second, third grade type of young. Back then, you couldn't just be late. Like if school started at 9 a.m. and you pulled up to the building at 9:01, you couldn't just simply go to class. Fuck no.
Guys, bro, you have to go to the freaking office and check in and like embarrass yourself walking to the class.
To now go to the front of the building and buzz your ass in because the doors were now locked. After waiting outside freezing your ass off, they finally let you in. Only to then have you wait in a long-ass line full of all the other niggas who are late, just so you can get a dumbass late slip. This late slip didn't even do anything, by the way. It was literally just a way to keep a record of how many times you were late in their system. As if they were, what, gonna fucking kick you out the damn school?
I mean, you could get kicked out, though. Especially, I know some people, if you don't live, like, by the school, you're, like, basically on a school permit or something. They literally keep track of any like, bad thing you do. Like, if you act up in class, they'll note that down. If you're late all the time, they'll note that down. And they'll literally basically try to come up with reasons to kick you out the school district and shit.
After waiting an additional 15 minutes in that line, only making you even more late, you finally reach the front, where the secretary only now thinks it's the perfect time to look you square in the face and say, why are you late?
Bro,
because
for real,
the fucking 8-year-old is going to be able to come up with a feasible response as if they...
Like, I get it in middle school and high school, but nigga, why you ask me? I can barely damn walk, nigga. I can barely pronounce my ABC.
Even know what the hell is going on in the first place. Like, anytime I got asked this dumbass question, I had two responses. One, no response at all. Two, I don't know. She would then proceed to exaggerate her disappointed expression on her face while she prints my late slip. She ain't even put it in my hand. She just left.
It's always those big ass, thick ass ladies, bro. They be sitting down, they butt be coming out the fucking seat and shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Table. I had to take it and walk out. It's now been 20 minutes since school started where I'm finally walking to class. And the anxiety you would feel walking into the class late should have been
Oh my god, I hate that.
Like after putting your bag away, you could either get lucky and the door was already open, allowing you to low-key just stroll in, or the door's locked and now you have to knock.
Dude, this is the worst, bro. You have to either knock or you open it and then everybody just like looking at you like they just saw some fucking evil villain, bro. Like, why y'all looking at me?
When you do, all eyes are on you. Then when you finally get in the class, you have to slowly perform the walk of shame while the teacher's talking.
For real.
And hand her your late slip and then go sit down. Why the fuck was this even a thing? After this happening enough times, eventually your primary school teacher will pull you aside and tell you that this is not gonna slide in high school. Then you get to high school, and the building doesn't actually lock.
Senior boy, what?
Morning, so when it's time to get to class, you can just walk there regardless of what time it actually is. However, when you get to your classroom door, it will be locked. And when it is, you will have to knock. In this situation, you had two types of teachers. The one that fucked with you and would just let you in as they didn't mark attendance yet, or the one that hated and despised everything regarding your existence, so they would signal you through the window to go get your damn late slip. Now you're walking back to the office where there's another line. However, it's not as long, and most importantly,
I don't remember the whole late slip thing. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember that. Let me know. Have you guys had to have late slips?
No one gives a fuck. Like, by the time you reach high school, it becomes more of a nuisance to go get a damn late slip because no one actually gives a fuck. Like, your teacher doesn't even want the late slip. They literally just make you go get it just to piss you off even more.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
And similar to the first situation, eventually your teacher will pull you to the side and say, hey, like, when you get older in college, this is not gonna slide. Then you get to college, and the concept of being late doesn't even exist. Considering by this age, barely anyone even shows up. There's
Bro, for real, they say it won't slide in college, and everybody calls late as fuck, bro. And they still getting A's somehow.
Is being late in college.
ChatGPT.
It just quickly turns into you show up when you show up. if you show up at all. Despite
even the teachers not showing up,
everything you've been taught up until this point, you quickly realize it only actually matters if you have a lab or an exam. And even then, niggas were still late for that shit all the time. Then you
I thought the bro had a boner. That was a
finish college, and you're now in the real world where you learn people are still late to literally everything, like appointments, work, fucking hangouts with your friends.
Now, I will say being late is a bad habit though. Like, you definitely should try to, you know, be on time to things, or most likely early, if you want to like actually have a profession that requires that, you know what I'm saying, professionalism. But I mean, if you don't care about life, then I guess whatever.
Nobody is on time to anything anywhere. Like,
but if you genuinely have a good reason to be late, then it's not the biggest deal as long as you explain yourself.
For some reason, school plants this idea that if you are late, Medusa's gonna fucking spawn in and just turn you into stone. And then you get older and you realize how unnecessary any of this fucking shit was. The entire education system heavily fixates on the idea that the better grades you get, the better student you are. I'm sure.
Now, this is definitely false, bro. There's a lot of people that don't get the good grades and stuff, and then they're successful. But one thing I will say though is that yes, grades don't absolutely matter, but I feel like striving to get better grades and just trying your best just builds character in general. So like, you should always aim to be good. You shouldn't just like not try at all. You know what I'm saying? But if you do struggle in certain things or whatever, it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I do feel like it builds character to actually try and do your homework and stuff for when you get in the real world, bro. Because the real world, you're not gonna be able to just not do shit and be lazy as fuck.
Everyone remembers that one nigga that would deadass start crying because they scored a 98 out of 100 and missed by 2 fucking points. Those fucking dickheads. Obviously,
I ain't gonna lie, this was low-key me. I was a tryhard in school.
Should aim to get good grades. Like, don't be that nigga who just flunks absolutely anything and everything. But I learned being that person who always aimed for 100% was probably one of the dumbest things you can do of all time. Like, the amount of stress, anxiety, unnecessary fucking fatigue that goes into trying to maintain a perfect grade, especially at the age of 16, is just completely unnecessary. There was always those kids who sacrificed their youth for the sake of grades, only to get older and then realize they have damn near experienced practically nothing. The amount of people I grew up with...
Yeah, I mean, if it consumes your whole world, then it's different, but you should definitely strive for good grades, though.
I did a complete 180 the other direction. This shit started young, too.
Like, you don't have to have straight A's, but at least don't be getting no F's in classes, bro. Come on, you can pass. Just turn in your damn homework and do okay on the test.
Like, elementary school, they were averaging 95s, then high school came and they didn't even go to class anymore and would just fucking play with themselves or smoke all day. Bruh. Crazy. Then the high school to college jump appears, and this one's terrifying because for the first time, these niggas have a little bit of freedom from their parents, and so you just watch these people start doing everything the niggas who weren't trying to leave high school were doing. Then I was in college, and it became...
Yo, college be... Bro, the people in college, they be crazy, man. They just do anything because they weren't able to do shit when they was young.
Normal to get 50s and 60s
they like finally got away.
Program. And if you got 70s, niggas thought you were fucking cheating. Like, I'm talking, it didn't matter if it was a quiz, an assignment, a fucking exam. Every nigga's always wishing for a fucking bell curve. The year is 2025, and unless you're trying to...
Wait, what's a bell curve? I feel like I've heard that term before.
A doctor, lawyer, or a goddamn brain surgeon, your grades do not matter at all. Like, most jobs do not give a fuck about your education. They just want you to have experience. No employer...
Yeah, I will say, bro, I know diplomas and all that shit matters, and it does to a sense, but I feel like in the work world, bro, like as an adult, you realize that it's mostly about connections, bro. It's not really about your... Like, you can literally have the best degree way better than someone else, but if the person that's hiring knows this person or is related to the family or whatever, they're getting the job before you, bro, even if they're well underqualified compared to you.
Ever asked me what grade I got in my network administration course in my final year, or my fucking grade for data structures and algorithms using Java? They simply just do not give a fuck. Like, school created this belief that your grades matter so much when in reality no one actually cares. I'll never forget when one of my elementary school teachers saw my name on the honor roll list for fucking 9th grade when visiting. And then she said, "Oh wow, I'm surprised you made it this far." What the fuck?
That's fucked up.
School also
nah, I ain't gonna lie, you got to run my fade after that, bro. Ain't no way you about to say that in my face. Oh, I'm surprised you're actually smart. Nigga, what?
This major fixation on the need for memorizing literally everything.
Oh, I hate this.
Like, this was one of the core reasons niggas were so against school. Why the fuck did I have to memorize the definition for the most niche word only located in chapter 6, page 5 of my history textbook?
Dead ass, bro. Like, literally the two things I hated the most that we had to like memorize was fucking was history class, like any type of history. That shit pissed me off. And then like anatomy class or science thing where you have to like remember parts of the body, specific names and all this shit. I'm like, nigga, shut the...
You had to do
I don't care about none of this.
Even regular ass math equations without the use of a calculator. What? Like, I deadass remember some teachers telling me in life you aren't always going to have a calculator, therefore you should be able to solve...
I mean, I literally have my phone on me 24/7, so...
...things without one. Yeah, fucking right. By the time I got to high school and even college, Teachers started looking at you like you had the fucking bubonic plague if you walked into
Oh,
that damn exam
God.
without your damn calculator. I'll never forget the time one of my boys tried performing a calculus exam in college without his damn calculator. That shit was so bad. 40
Bro, calculus, no calculator just sounds demonizing. I don't like
minutes
that.
into the exam, the professor actually recognized he didn't have one and literally said he can leave the exam and go find one if he needs to. He declined the offer anyways, proceeding to fail the exam. Granted, he knew the calculator wasn't going to save him. He didn't study, but that just shows you how...
Yeah, calculators don't save you if you don't know the equations or even how to start a problem.
Bullshit of an idea it was to make niggas do math without a fucking calculator. It just didn't make any sense at all. Or even how some of the studying schemes worked in general. Like, I remember growing up, they forced niggas to study.
Study 5 minutes with a 5-hour break. That was literally me, bro.
Literally all of the course material, and school quickly just becomes a game of memorization. Then by the time you get to college,
especially when you're in high school, you have like different periods, bro. You're trying to focus on each one at a time. Like, that's just hard.
Notice two things. One, you have much more open book exams. Two, most of your exams actually let you have a cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine how much info niggas were putting on those damn sheets. Then you get to the real world and you learn that if you're ever genuinely confused, you can literally just search the internet for an answer.
That is facts.
Just fucking...
That is facts, bro. Like, bro, literally anytime I have a problem, I will look at the internet. And that's not a problem. Nobody judges me off of that. Everybody does that, right? We go on Reddit, we go on Google, all that shit to find out anything. But in school, it's like, oh, you have the book, you're cheating. Oh my God. Oh, you fucking dumbass.
And ask someone. Like, school made it seem like you need to have absolutely all 226 lecture slides or fucking pages in your notebook memorized on the most niche topics. Because when you get a job, they're gonna make sure you can recite all of it. Only to then realize that if you don't know something, you could just search for it. This shit is not an ongoing exam. You're allowed to not know things. In fact, it's legitimately impossible to know everything. You're always gonna have to be learning. Like, this is one of the prime reasons why hella employers wouldn't even give a fuck about your education to begin with, because it's strictly just theory and memorization. You'll notice actually applying and learning things are always two completely separate ball games. But school teaches you otherwise. If you fail to memorize the concepts and recite the answers bar
you're
for
a
bar
failure.
for the exam review questions, you're now considered a failure, or better yet, a bad student. How does that make sense? And don't even get me started on due dates. Like, looking back at it, when you're younger, due dates shouldn't even exist. In my elementary school, you couldn't even fail. A lot of my niggas caught on to this and just said, fuck it, and then never handed anything in.
That's true. You can't really fail. Like, they're gonna move you up regardless, right?
Be talking about some, this is due next Friday. And we would all just look at each other and just try not to fucking laugh. They always used to tell us,
everybody doing a speed meme.
School, the teacher isn't going to chase you for assignments, or this isn't going to slide in high school. Then niggas got high school and teachers wouldn't even chase. They would hunt you for that damn missing assignment. By the time you got to college, you might get like one professor who will give you a 0 if you hand something in late.
Dude,
but all the other
who else had to like write paragraphs for like, or have to write an essay, bro? You bullshitted that shit. Like, right the night before, and you say like, I have this and I have this, that. Like, you just use like the same thing, but you said it in like 10 different ways.
Or fucking 20 of them will just deduct the percentage based on how late it was. And even then, I still knew profs that hunted students down for assignments to try to help them out so they don't fucking fail. Because newsflash, it's actually a lot more work to fail a student than to pass them, because they gotta now fill out a bunch of paperwork they do not want to fucking fill out. And once you get to the real world, those due dates are now for projects, meetings, and all that fucking bullshit. But they just become delayed or pushed back like the date never even fucking mattered. It just was not that serious.
Oh my God.
Like, all in all, school made it seem like it was the end of the world if you weren't the perfect student or fucking person. You gotta get hella good grades, never be late, always hand things in on time, blah, blah, blah. But none of it actually ever mattered. I know hella people that barely finish high school and
I won't say that none of it actually doesn't matter. I feel like some of it does. Like, I feel like, yes, they strive you to be like this perfect student, perfect representation of yourself, but at the same time, like, yeah, you don't want to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but like, there's certain habits that you can build. Like, I feel like doing homework, having due dates and stuff, like, having to be responsible for something and take accountability when you don't turn in or you fail, and you know what I'm saying, it kind of teaches you a little life lessons. But some people don't take it in that way. Some people need to actually go through life to take it. You know, I feel like school is just like a little push for you to get life started a little bit, but yeah, it's not the end of the world if you don't do the best in school.
Are doing just fine. I also know people that graduated college and are doing even worse. There's no rules in this game of life.
That's true.
And it's so interesting how, looking back, there was just these grown-ass people telling a bunch of kids and teenagers they suck because of how they acted in school. I mean, you tell me, do you think any of this shit actually matters the way they say it does? Or is it just another way of playing fear tactics to try to morph you into the individual they really want you to become? I gotta cut this shit off because I'm starting to sound ridiculous.
Nah, you just stating facts, bro. Nah, this is a W video, bro. Shout out to, where's Dave? Where's Dev? I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, boy, but thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.